All right, we're going to talk about exponents today. A little bit of review first. An exponent. An exponential expression is a number with a number on the bottom and a number on the top, like 4 to the third, right? Where the number on the bottom is called the base, and the number on the top is called the exponent. The exponent tells me how many times to multiply the base by itself. 4 to the third power is 4 times 4 times 4, or 16 times 4, which is 64. Okay? Yeah. And that's the basics of exponents. But today we're going to deal with a little bit of a different situation. Did you know exponents can be rational numbers? They can be fractions. And we're going to explore that possibility. Okay? So I'm going to put here another example right on the same page. Let's go here. Let's do this. Let's do 16 to the 1/4 power. 16 to the 1/4 power. Okay? What does that mean? Does that mean write 16 times itself 1/4 time? No, here's what it means. Think of the denominator as how many times a number needs to be multiplied by itself to make 16. Kind of going backwards. Before we multiplied 4 by itself 3 times. Now the denominator tells me how many times I need to multiply a number by itself to make 16. So we think, what times itself 4 times makes 16. Now, if you know the answer, that's great. If you have any trouble coming up with the answer, I want to remind you a little bit of something called prime factorization. You would have learned this in middle school, probably. Prime factorization. Take a number 16 and factor it. You can use a factor tree. 16 is 2 times 8. 8 is 2 times 4. And 4 is 2 times 2. So we can hopefully see that 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. I also like a technique called the division ladder, in which I start with 16 and simply divide by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And again, we get 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 to the 4th power is 16. So 16 to the 1/4 is 2. Do you see how it's kind of backwards? What number times itself 4 times makes 16? 16 to the 1/4. Let's try another. How about 27 to the 1/3? 27 to the 1/3. Think of a number that times itself and times itself again makes 27. Well, let's do a little factor tree here. I'm going to use the division ladder. 27 divides by 3. 3 times 9. And 9 is 3 times 3. So 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. So the 27 to the 1/3, I almost said cube root. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. 27 to the 1/3 is 3. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. You're looking for a number that times itself that many times makes the base. Makes the base. Okay? Now that said, let's go to another way to write the same problem. There's another way to write the same problem. Okay? 16 to the 1/4 can also be written as the 4th root. Well, try that again. The 4th root of 16. Okay? This is known as root form of the same problem. The 4th root. The 4 is called the index. The 16 is called the radicand. And the symbol is called the radical. Yeah. Popular in the 80s, right? Radical, dude, totally. Radical. And it means the same thing as 16 to the 1/4. It simply says the fourth root of 16 is the number that multiplied by itself 4 times makes 16. So we solve it the same way. What times what times what times what makes 16? Answer, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Therefore, the fourth root of 16 is 2. Okay? So it's really the same thing. 16 to the 1/4 equals the fourth root of 16. 27 to the 1/3 equals the cube root of 27, which is solved the same way. What number times itself? 3 times makes 27. 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. Therefore, the cube root of 27, or 27 to the 1/3, same problem, is 3. Okay, so you want to be able to convert between the two. All right, there's one more task you might want to be able to do here, and I think that'll wrap us up for today. And that is, what if the numerator is not 1? What if we're solving 1,000 to the 2/3? 1,000, and I want 1,000, not 100. 1,000 to the 2/3. Okay? 1,000 to the 2/3, we treat it the same way. What number times itself 3 times makes 1,000? Let's do a little prime factorization. 1,000 is 10 times 100, which is 10 times 10. So 1,000 is 10 times 10 times 10. Okay? So that means the cube root, or 1,000 to the 1/3, if I had asked that question, 1,000 to the 1/3, the answer would be 10. But what about 1,000 to the 2/3? What that means is we simply take the cube root, the third root, and multiply it by itself twice. 100. So 1,000 to the 2/3 is 100. Let's try one more example just to make it clear. Okay, what if we say 81 to the 3/4? Okay, think the fourth root of 81. So 81 is 3 times 27, which is 3 times 9, which is 3 times 3. So 81 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 to the 4th. So the fourth root of 81 is 3, but I want the third, that raised to the third power. So the answer is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 times 3, or 3 to the third power. So it's the fourth root raised to the third power, which is 9 times 3, which is 27. 27. Okay? Now the lesson doesn't cover it, but there is a way to write this in radical form. 81 to the 3/4 is the fourth root of 81 to the third power. But you don't need to know that for this lesson. All right? Hopefully that helps.